Good morning, students. Today our topic is muscles of back. So this is the region of back here. The body is lying in prone position. So we have removed the skin of one side of back here, as you can see in this specimen. So after removing the skin, we have also removed this superficial fascia and deep fascia. Talking about the skin of back, the skin of back is rough, tough, and superficial fascia of back is very firm and dense here. As you can see, little bit part of superficial fascia on the other side. It is very dense and firm. Now talking about the muscles, we have 4 layers of muscles in the back. We have first layer, second layer, third layer and fourth layer. Some of the muscles we have already discussed in scapular region, which are the superficial muscles of back. Now talking about the first layer of back, so there are 2 muscles of first layers which we have already discussed. One is lying in its upper part, which is trapezius muscle. This muscle is trapezius muscle. It is lying in the upper half of the back. Origin is from external occipital protuberance, ligamentum nuchae, and the spines of T1 to T12, all the thoracic spines. And this muscle will insert into the clavicle, acromion process of scapula and spine of scapula, which we have already discussed in earlier classes. So this muscle is trapezius. We have reflected it already. Now coming to the second muscle of this region, this muscle is latissimus dorsi. Latissimus dorsi is the broad muscle of the back. It takes origin from the lumbar fascia, the thoracolumbar fascia. This is the thoracolumbar fascia. As you can see, these shiny fibers here. This whole is the thoracolumbar fascia. So it takes origin from thoracolumbar fascia, also from iliac crest, and lower 4 to 5 thoracic spine, lower 2 to 3 ribs, and also from the inferior angle of scapula. This is scapula here, and here's the inferior angle of scapula. So some fibers are also taking origin from the inferior angle of scapula, and it runs upwards and laterally, and finally will insert into the floor of bicipital groove of humerus. So this broad muscle was latissimus dorsi. So we have discussed 2 muscles. One is trapezius and other was latissimus dorsi. So these were the muscles of first layer of back. We have only 2 muscles. Talking about the nerve supply of these muscles, the nerve supply of trapezius is spinal accessory nerve. Now the nerve supply of latissimus dorsi, this muscle is supplied by thoracodorsal nerve, which is also known as nerve to latissimus dorsi. So these were the muscles of first layer. Now to expose the second layer, we have to reflect these muscles. So we have already dissected these muscles. So there are 7 muscles of second layer of back. First of all, muscles which are attached to the scapula. We have already discussed these muscles in scapular region. We will revise these muscles again. The first muscle is levator scapulae. This muscle here is levator scapulae. It takes origin from the posterior tubercle of transverse processes of 1 to 4 cervical vertebrae. First, second, third, fourth cervical vertebrae, and run downwards toward the medial border of scapula. This is the medial border of scapula and will insert on the upper part of medial border of scapula here. Now the second muscle is rhomboideus minor muscle. This muscle is rhomboideus minor muscle. It was taking origin from C7 and T1. Spinous process of C7 and T1 run downwards towards the medial border of scapula and will insert on the medial border of scapula at the root of spine. This is the root of spine here. So it will insert on the root of spine of scapula. This is the spine of scapula. Next muscle is this broad muscle here. This is rhomboideus major muscle. So it was taking origin from spinous processes of T2, T3, T4 and T5 vertebrae. And fibers are running downwards and laterally towards the medial border of scapula. So it will insert on the lower half of medial border of scapula here. As you can see the insertion of this muscle. So these were the muscles which were attaching to the scapula or the medial border of scapula. Now some other muscles of this region or the second layer of back, if we reflect this scapula here or the muscles which are attached to the scapula, you can see one muscle, this muscle. This muscle is coming from the C7 to T3 spinous process, running downward and laterally, and will insert into the upper border of second, third, fourth and fifth ribs. This muscle is serratus posterior superior muscle. Serratus posterior superior muscle. Again, similar muscle is also present on the lower part of back. This muscle is serratus posterior inferior muscle. It takes origin from the spinous process of T11 to L2 vertebrae. The fibers are running upwards and laterally and will insert onto the lower border of 9 to 12 ribs. So as you can see, these two muscles, the direction of fibers of these muscles are at right angle to each other. Direction of fiber of these two muscles are at right angle to each other. The upper muscle, which is serratus posterior superior, the fibers are directing downwards and laterally, whereas inferior muscle, the fibers are directed upwards and laterally. Now coming to the next muscle of second layer, which is very important muscle, we have splenius muscle. This is the splenius muscle here. As you can see here, this is the splenius muscle. This muscle has two parts. One is splenius cervicis, as you can see here below this muscle, just deep to this muscle here. This is the splenius cervicis part of splenius muscle. If I pull this part, you can see this part. This part is the splenius cervicis part of splenius muscle. Now coming to the second part, which is larger than cervicis part. This part is splenius capitis part. So splenius muscle has two parts, splenius cervicis and upper part is splenius capitis. So this splenius muscle has common origin. It takes origin from the lower part of ligamentum nuchae and the spines of T1 to T6 vertebrae. T1 to T6 vertebrae, and will divide into two parts. The splenius cervicis part will insert into the transverse process of upper four cervical vertebrae, and whereas the capitis part, as you can see, these are the fiber, oblique fiber running towards the mastoid process. So these fibers are inserting into the mastoid process. Clear? So this was the splenius capitis part. So this was the splenius muscles. We have discussed 7 muscles of second layer. What were these muscles? Levator scapulae, rhomboideus minor, rhomboideus major. Then we have 2 posterior serratus muscles, serratus posterior superior and serratus posterior inferior muscle. And also we have discussed splenius muscles, which has 2 parts, splenius cervicis and splenius capitis muscle. Now coming to the third layer of muscles of back. After reflecting this muscle here, this was serratus posterior inferior muscle on both sides, and removing the layers of thoracolumbar fascia here, the muscle visible here, this bulky muscle, this large muscle visible here is called erector spinae. So third layer of muscles of back contains 2 types of muscle groups. One is erector spinae group, which is visible here. This is the erector spinae group. Other is semispinalis group. Semispinalis group is present in upper half of back. Clear? Now coming to the erector spinae group. This erector spinae group is also known as sacrospinalis. This is the true muscle of back. This erector spinae is true muscle of back. Why it is true muscle? Because it extends from the sacrum to the skull, up to the skull. So it extends from sacrum to skull, and it is supplied by the dorsal rami of spinal nerve. So this erector spinae will arise from the back of sacrum and dorsal segment of iliac crest, and will run upwards. Soon it will divide into 3 columns. This is very, very important. This erector spinae muscles will divide into 3 columns, 3 vertical columns. We have lateral column, we have intermediate column, and we have most medial column. This is the lateral column, and this lateral column of erector spinae is known as iliocostalis. Medial to this we have this column here. You can clearly see the shiny fibers of intermediate part. This intermediate column is also known as longissimus. And we have most medial column, which is known as spinalis. The fiber of spinalis are visible here. The spinalis column is closely related to the vertebral column. So this part here is the spinalis column of erector spinae muscle. So we have 3 columns. These columns are further divided into subparts or subdivisions. So we will have only the general overview of these subdivisions. As you can see, this is the vertical column, this is the iliocostalis column. So in the lumbar region, this column is called iliocostalis lumborum. Thoracic region, it is called iliocostalis thoracis, and in cervical region it is called iliocostalis cervicis. Similarly, longissimus column, in the thoracic region it is called longissimus thoracis, cervical region it is called longissimus cervicis, and in the occiput region it is called longissimus capitis. So similarly, in case of spinalis, it is also having spinalis thoracis, spinalis cervicis, and spinalis capitis. So this is all about the erector spinae muscles or erector spinae muscle groups. Upper part of these muscles is not visible because of these superficial muscles. To show the upper part, we have to reflect these all muscles. So this is all about the erector spinae muscles. Now talking about the second muscle group of this layer, third layer, we have semispinalis group. Semispinalis group has three types of muscles. One is semispinalis thoracis, semispinalis cervicis, and semispinalis capitis. So semispinalis group is only present in the upper half of back. It is only present in the upper half of back. So the muscle or the part of semispinalis muscle which is visible here in this specimen is the semispinalis capitis muscle. You can clearly see these fibers, these vertical fibers deep to this muscle, splenius muscle. This was the splenius. Deep and medial to this muscle, we have these vertical fibers. These are the fibers of semispinalis capitis muscle. This semispinal capitis muscle is the biggest component of semispinalis group. Other components which are semispinalis cervicis and thoracis, which are not visible here, these are the very small components and closely related to the vertebral column. So only one component is visible, which is the biggest component of semispinalis group. This is the semispinalis capitis muscle. There are several structures piercing this muscle, one of which is visible here, clearly visible here. This muscle, this nerve is called greater occipital nerve, which is piercing this semispinalis capitis muscle. So this is all about the muscles of third layer. We have two groups in third layer: erector spinae group, which is further divided into three columns, and we have semispinalis group, which is only present in the upper half of back. Now coming to the fourth layer, which is not visible in this specimen. The muscles of fourth layer are very small muscles, except the suboccipital region. They are closely related to the vertebral column. To show these muscles, we have to reflect all the muscles of third layer. Muscles of fourth layer are multifidus, rotators, interspinales, intertransversi, and suboccipital muscles. The most important muscles of fourth layer are suboccipital muscles, which are present in the suboccipital region, which is the uppermost part of back of neck, which is not visible here. We have to reflect all the muscles of third layer and superficial muscles also. So in the last, we will have a quick revision of all the muscles of back. First of all, we have first layer, which includes two muscles: trapezius in upper part, latissimus dorsi in lower part. After reflecting these two muscles, the muscles of second layer are levator scapulae, rhomboideus minor, rhomboideus major, also serratus posterior superior and serratus posterior inferior muscle. Also splenius muscles. We have splenius cervicis and splenius capitis, part of splenius muscle. Then muscles of third layer were erector spinae group and semispinalis group. Erector spinae group has iliocostalis part, longissimus part and spinalis part, these three columns. And semispinalis group is only present in the upper half. The part which is visible in this specimen is semispinalis capitis part, which is pierced by this nerve, which is greater occipital nerve. And the muscles of fourth layer are not visible, which are multifidus, rotators, interspinales, intertransversi, and the muscles of suboccipital region. This is all about the muscles of back. Thank you so much.